fellow enthusiasts, and welcome to this new video from the website www.MoonWatch.fr. Today I am going to talk to you about a Swiss chronograph that I love. A watch from a not very well-known brand, at least in France. It is this Maurice Lacroix Flyback Chronograph. The automatic Flyback Chronograph Masterpiece watch is the flagship timepiece of the Swiss manufacturer Maurice Lacroix. Historically, this company, Maurice Lacroix, is a Swiss watch manufacturer based in Montfaucon in the Jura. But since 1975, its headquarters have been located in Zurich. A big name in Swiss watchmaking, in the 90s, the company experienced rapid growth, notably thanks to the launch of its Les Mécaniques series, which was later renamed into Masterpiece. For your information, the watchmaking company Maurice Lacroix would even rise to the top rank of Swiss watch companies by perpetuating the traditional craftsmanship of Swiss watchmaking and by creating original movements for this masterpiece collection. In 2001, Maurice Lacroix also distinguished itself by becoming an autonomous entity and one of the few independent Swiss watch companies. In 2010, the company employs about 300 people, and the brand is distributed and represented in nearly 4,000 stores across 60 countries. Let's detail the technical specifications of this Maurice Lacroix masterpiece, Flyback Chronograph. This is a model that was produced in 2007. It is a men's watch. The case is made of steel, so stainless steel. The movement used is a manufactured chronograph caliber, thus produced by Maurice Lacroix. It is the ML15, which contains 49 joules and is set at 28,800 bph. The power reserve of the movement is about 40 hours. This watch is water resistant up to 100 meters deep. Note the fixed tachymetric bezel, a signed crown and 2 push buttons. The glass is a scratch-resistant sapphire crystal. Regarding the dimensions, the watch measures 42 mm in diameter and 40 mm in thickness. The weight is quite manageable at just 104 g. In my version, the watch is equipped with a black leather strap on a deployant clasp, signed by Maurice Lacroix. Several complications are offered in this model, namely the chronograph, date and month. The case of the Maurice Lacroix Masterpiece Flyback Chronograph is made of stainless steel and measures 42 mm in diameter and 14 mm in thickness. The feel on the wrist is quite different, as it really feels like wearing a thinner watch, one that would be 11 or 12 mm. As a result, the comfort on the wrist is much more pleasant, and wearing the watch is also more enjoyable. The tachymetric bezel used for the chronograph is also a steel tachymetric bezel. It is silver with black inscriptions, which is quite typical for sports chronographs oriented towards car racing. Next, the crown is signed but not screwed down. So we see that it is signed with the M of Maurice Lacroix, but it is not screwed down. We then find 2 push buttons at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock to respectively start and stop the chronograph and reset or fly back the chronograph. As a reminder, the flyback simply allows you to reset the chronograph without stopping it so that it can start again. It should be noted that the push buttons are very well integrated into the case. It's nicely done. The chronograph, as we will also see, is very pleasant to use and handle. You see, one click, now I'm going to do a flyback. Hop. It restarts automatically. Here, we stop it, we reset it. Honestly, the chronograph is very pleasant to use. Of all my chronographs, I think this is one of the most pleasant. Next, let's talk about the case back. The case back of this Maurice Flyback chronograph is transparent. and it reveals a manufactured movement, very, very beautiful. A movement with 49 jewels, we'll talk a little more about it later. It is very, very beautiful. On it, you can read several inscriptions such as Maurice water resistance, the reference number, also Swissmet. It ensures the watch's water resistance up to 100 meters. By the way, it's surprising that the watch is water resistant to 100 meters, since the crown is not screwed down. And yet that's the case according to the data. In this range, Maurice Lacroix really offers an exceptional level of finish. Once you have the watch in hand, you immediately feel that the watch is very, very high quality. You feel that you really have a piece. Not unique, but with very, very, very beautiful designs and very fine finishes. Every detail is carefully crafted, which is really very pleasant. Regarding the dial and the hands, the first thing that can be said is that this dial is magnificent. The arrangement of the elements is original and the readability is excellent. The main color dominating this dial is white. It is surrounded by a black railway track on which there are fine lines to mark each of the minutes. It is very discreet and very precise as well. Then all around there are Arabic numerals to specify the hours. And also on the railway track, the minutes, I will zoom in a little bit. It is very well thought out with the 60 in red. A little reminder for the flyback. Honestly, the dial is magnificent. What can we say next? We can say that each of the numbers, 8, 7, 10, the hour numbers are all covered with luminova, which is super powerful. In this case, we have readability in dark environments that is worthy of the best Seiko Maurice Lacroix. Not to skimp on the quality of its product, reflective, which is very pleasant. Then we find 3 subdials arranged at 3, 6, 9. These are the chronograph dials in at 3 o'clock, the second hand. I like this arrangement because it simply differs from the layouts found on Valjoux. 611 the arrangements in 6912, here this 369 arrangement. It's really original, it changes things. I really like it. Inside we find inscriptions painted in black, the flyback, inscription in red above the scissor dial. It's very, very well thought out. Honestly, it's very readable, very, very well thought out. It should also be noted that Maurice Lacroix chose to use a double date window here at 12 o'clock and a window for the month which is located between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock. This day-month arrangement is really very original. Generally, the date is either at 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock. Here, it will be central, so very readable. And the month display, which is found on few watches. Here, it's a beautiful complication. I really like it. It should also be noted that the reading of the month is enhanced by an internal cyclops, a bit like what you might find on a Chopard 1000 Miglia. The internal cyclops for the month. All the hands are now sword-shaped, even the hands of the subdials. They have a bluish tint, you see. They really take on magnificent reflections. These hands, once again, everything is about discretion, about finesse. But then the design and finish are excellent. The hands are also coated with luminova. Super, 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 super luminous in dark environments. A great effort by Maurice Lacroix. The hands are magnificent. We have hands almost as beautiful as those of a Grand Seiko, which, for me, is the benchmark in terms of hands. We can also say that the chronograph's second hand has its tip painted red, which is, you might think of it as a nod to the 60 and the flyback. The green, on the other hand, is a sapphire green. Normally, there isn't, well, the anti-reflective treatment is not exceptional, but it still absorbs the majority of reflections. It's true that on this point, Maurice Lacroix could have made an additional effort, and applied a double anti-reflective treatment both inside and outside. Here, I think there is only one layer of anti-reflective treatment on one of the two sides. I couldn't tell you which one, but I don't feel like it's on both. Let's now talk about the caliber that is fitted in this Maurice Lacroix Flyback Chronograph. It is a caliber specifically designed by Maurice Lacroix for this masterpiece Flyback Chronograph series. It is a caliber that was developed in 2006 and bears the reference ML15. It is an automatic movement with 49 jewels and features several complications. A date complication with 2 windows, a month complication, and the Flyback Chronograph complication. Mechanically, this movement is very precise. It is reliable and silent. Often, I complain about noisy oscillating weights or those that feel like they are centrifuging your wrist. Here, that is not the case at all. Maurice Lacroix has designed a truly discrete movement. It is almost, you don't feel it. It's not hard, you don't feel it. We are truly in the realm of Swiss haute horlogerie. Here, this movement is a true collector's item. It is, I find it magnificent. Moreover, Maurice Lacroix, in this range, you might say it's normal, but they took the time to decorate it. It's a movement that is decorated, and as a result, the transparent case back is very important because it reveals this movement, which is magnificent, which is splendid. The power reserve is stated to be 40 hours, and that's about what I get, what I obtained during my tests. It's true that for me these are watches that I wear occasionally over a few weeks because it's really a watch that I love. I find it very classy, understated, elegant, a little sporty, a little sleek as well. It's not a watch that I wear to go swimming, for example, or that I wear to go fishing. It's not that type of watch. So there, this watch is really a very discreet watch, just like the movement, really. The whole is very silent, very pleasant to wear. As far as I know, this Maurice Lacroix Flyback Chronograph is only available with a leather strap. Once again, Maurice Lacroix has excelled by offering a leather strap mounted on a signed deployant clasp. This deployant clasp is simply perfect. I will show it to you later. It adjusts perfectly, the strap does not slip inside, and it does not hurt the wrist. Honestly, great work again on the clasp. Maurice Lacroix has done an excellent job. The lug width measures 20 mm, which is quite good as it is standard. Obviously, I would advise against using a steel bracelet or a NATO strap. For me, what suits this watch best is a leather strap. Honestly, the black leather harmonizes very well with the watch's aesthetics. As highlighted in my other reviews and videos, I am very demanding about the quality of the straps and comfort. Here, Maurice Lacroix has done an outstanding job. The wearing comfort is exceptional. This watch is very pleasant to wear on the wrist. The deployant clasp that I am showing you now is very beautiful. It is very elegant. Truly in simplicity, but that's what makes it elegant. It is very high quality. There are inscriptions on the inside. It closes extremely well. And above all, it is incredibly comfortable. It might even be made more comfortable than the clasp on my Brett line, which I find exceptional nonetheless. This watch fits snugly on the wrist without applying pressure. You don't feel it. I'll put it on my wrist to show you. You don't feel like it's crushing the wrist. It really just sits on it. It integrates completely with your wrist. It seems like there's a harmony created between the watch, the case back, and the wrist. It's very pleasant to wear. The 42mm diameter might seem imposing, just like the 14mm thickness. And yet, it feels like wearing a smaller watch. When worn, it feels like a 40mm watch, with 11-12 minutes thickness. It's very pleasant. For your information, I own several watches. My favorite watch, the one that wears the best, is a Citizen, so really a mid-range watch, a ProMaster Skyhawk. This Maurice Lacroix Flyback Chronograph is just as pleasant to wear as my Citizen. Even the Grand Seiko chrono I have is not as comfortable. Here, honestly, Maurice Lacroix offers a watch with proportions. Perfect, I want to say. With perfect proportions. So, as one might expect, this model of the Maurice Lacroix Masterpiece Flyback Chronograph is no longer available in stores. Therefore, you will need to turn to the second-hand market to acquire a similar model. This magnificent timepiece can be negotiated for around 1,800 euros without box or papers, and the price can exceed 2,100 euros for a complete full set, with a watch in excellent condition. I'm not necessarily a big fan of full sets, but in the case of this Maurice Lacroix, I recommend you still look for the full set, and I'll tell you why. Maurice Lacroix released a few examples of this Flyback Chronograph in a limited Klapico Wanderheit edition, which includes a painting on tile. This version is very rare, very special, and it is difficult to find. I am fortunate that the version of my Maurice Lacroix Master Piece Flyback Chronograph is this limited Klapico Wanderheit edition. It's an edition that can be found for around 2,500 euros in a full set complete. In this case, it's nice because it's not just a number on the case back. We will have a painting with it. We will have a small manual delivered with explanations of the limited edition. In this case, I find it really interesting. Maurice Lacroix made a partnership that is quite nice. Regarding the packaging, the Swiss manufacturer excels in this area. The choice of materials, the quality of manufacturing is worthy of any great watchmaking manufacturer. We are at the levels of quality of Rolex, of Omega, maybe even better than Omega. I would say equivalent to Rolex, or the high-grade ones, perhaps Breitling as well. The box, the papers, the presentation, the bracelet's craftsmanship. It's difficult to realize on camera, but the bracelet's craftsmanship is truly excellent, exceptional. That's also why the bracelet is so comfortable. On this deployant clasp, the assembly of the watch, which is amazing, the caliber. Really, on a full set watch at 2,500 euros, Maurice Lacroix creates a really very nice product. The biggest challenge will be finding it. At the time I'm filming the video, as a limited edition, I haven't found any, even on Chrono24. So you have to search, you have to be patient. Honestly, it's a Flyback chronograph that deserves waiting to find, if I may say so. To conclude our review on the Maurice Lacroix Masterpiece Chronograph Flyback, I can say that it is a brand that is not very well known in France. We rarely hear about it. There are a few models that come up from time to time. On forums, for example, the Econ, notably because it vaguely resembles an Audemars Piguet. It's true that it's a brand that is not widely distributed, yet there are many boutiques and sales centers, Maurice Lacroix. And for some reason, it's a brand that does not have the recognition it deserves among forums and enthusiasts. Yet, the Maurice collection from Maurice Lacroix is worthy of the finest pieces found at other big names in watchmaking. The Maurice collection consists of pieces that are not really exclusive, but of a quality above some luxury watches. I am a big fan of Breitling. I know, for example, that I would now prefer to purchase a Maurice rather than the new collections, new Breitling collections, where there are many flaws. Bezel alignment, I won't go into it, I won't dwell on that. This is not a Breitling video. But it's a shame that this brand, Maurice Lacroix, is not more highlighted. I love this watch. This Flyback chronograph is one of my favorite watches. The case is sporty and elegant. The dial is very original, very readable, with a layout that is not often seen. The reflections, whether from the hands or the dial, are simply perfect. Look at the blue of these hands, it's really very, very nice. The complications offered by the model, the double date window, the month display, the flyback, it's definitely an undeniable plus. Everything has been thought out, the colors, the layout, even the complications. If they included them, it's not for nothing. It's because they really wanted to offer an atypical, original watch that remains both understated and luxurious. I am a heavy user of the function. Chronograph, I use it almost every day for various tasks in my daily life. And here the push buttons are super smooth, very pleasant to use. The second hand will start instantly with a simple press. Honestly, you don't have to force it, it's so smooth, it's incredible. For example, on other chronographs, like my Fortis Classic Cosmonaut, you have to apply much more force to activate the chronograph. It's not extremely bothersome in everyday life, but it's a bit of a shame nonetheless. On the wrist, the watch is stunning, the reflections are magnificent, and they will catch the eye of enthusiasts. Almost every time I wear this watch, whether for meetings or professional appointments, people ask me about it because it's unique. It's much more original than a sub, for example, which everyone might have, or that people might have under various tributes in the form of Stenart or I don't know, other. So here we really have a very original watch in terms of design and conception. Honestly, it's a very interesting alternative. And also less expensive compared to other well-known chronographs, such as the Monaco, the Detto, the IWC. Here we are still in a lower price range for a product quality. Almost comparably, in any case, it's not almost, it is comparable even, and it's a much more original product that you won't see on everyone's wrist. Before concluding this video, don't hesitate to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps give us a little boost. It also motivates us to create more videos. I also recommend visiting our site MoonWatch.fr, where we frequently publish watch reviews. Moreover, you can participate if you wish to if you wish to write a review of your favorite watch for us, don't hesitate to contact me. Contact at MoonWatch.fr. We are also present on Insta, on Twitter, and on Facebook. So don't hesitate to follow us. Our community is starting to get recognized. It's nice. And I'll see you very soon for a new review. Goodbye.